If you're feeling like you leave at the end of the day and you're totally exhausted, you're totally overwhelmed, you're dreading going in, not because you don't like what you do or because your team is awful, but because you're just really tired, then you're going to find value in this video. Ashley here. Welcome back to my channel. This is Ashley Speaks, informally dubbed as No Brands Land, which it will eventually turn into. And I just want to thank you if you're a first-time visitor and welcome you back if you've been here before. Today's video is all about on a sustainable business and working and aligning with your business so that it doesn't absolutely leave you drained. This is especially important for those that are in the conscious space or have to do any kind of empathetic work like customer service, sales, practitioners, psychology, the medical field. There's so many applications for this. Service industries like barbering or working at a restaurant. So if you're professional or you have a business, this is applicable for you, but also really focusing on those components of structuring your business so that you're not absolutely drained because you're trying to pull from the same decision-making center, the same energetic components of your body that you also need to run your business. I find this is really common, especially for those in the conscious space who are also practitioners as well as business owners, because they have to do all of the things. And usually they're starting their business out of necessity because there's not a widely accepted place for spiritual practitioners like there is for a medical person, for example. You know, they can join a hospital, they can join a clinic, or somebody that's in customer service, they're joining a team. Somebody that's in the service industry, they're usually joining something or an establishment that already exists. So you really see this with our spiritual practitioners. There's no big organization that can just hire practitioners, and they often go solo. And most often they crave that autonomy anyways because they are very energetically aligned and they want to have control over what they're doing for work. So it makes a lot of sense. But what I've done in working with those types of clients is understood that there's a very basic need for sustainability or alignment in what we're doing, whether it's professionally in a career or with a business, and that can be applied to you. If you're feeling like you leave at the end of the day and you're totally exhausted, you're totally overwhelmed, you're dreading going in, not because you don't like what you do or because your team is awful, but because you're just really tired, then you're going to find value in this video. The first thing I want to emphasize is really finding out with your business or within your role what is a priority and what's not. What can you potentially delegate out or make room for at another time so that you can focus on the priority at hand. Now, for a solo entrepreneur or practitioner of sorts, this might look like establishing some sort of automated system so that you can really focus on what you do, connecting with people, sending them to a link or to a website or to some kind of funnel that's going to automate that process moving forward so that you don't have to be the business development person and salesperson and connector on the front end and also nurturing them through the process of a sale. Energetically speaking, you're just not going to have time to do all of that on top of being the practitioner or the one actually delivering the services. So this is really important. I've worked with different specialists before in the healing space. And again, I'm talking on that industry specifically because it's relevant. But if you're in a different industry, hear what I'm saying and take it. The components are still the same. But if you are the face of it, you're representing what you do because you can explain it best and you're connecting with people, and that's what really gets your business to thrive, then I would focus on automating the internal structure so that they're getting emails, they're getting follow-ups, they're getting touch points throughout the journey of them being connected with you so that you don't have to do that initial interaction, the middle part, the nurturing, and also the fulfilling of services. And if you are doing that, I'm willing to bet that you have already come across moments where you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed out or feeling like you can't grow. And it's because you need to energetically take your hands off of things so that you have more capacity to grow. If you're not able to let go of some things in your business processes, then you're going to find that you're not going to have the capacity to bring in more, because that means, you guessed it, more work for you. And if you're already tapped out with the work that you have, then you definitely don't want to go that route. Something that's important to note, though, is that if you can start to automate those processes, or you can really focus on being the doer, if that's what you love and that's what you're good at, then focus your energy there and try to automate that front and middle portion. If you look at like a funnel, for example, of just like the top to bottom process of when somebody first discovers you, and then they go into your business system, and then they book with you or they buy from you, there's a natural funnel that's happening. And I explain this in some of my other videos. There's a natural funnel that happens. And so if you can automate just getting your content out there, that's why YouTube is great. That's why advertising is great. That's why if you can't afford to hire somebody to do that for you, you really do have to focus on content to be able to speak for you when you're not actively showing up, and then automate that middle process so that they're getting nurtured, they're getting educational drips, they're getting the downloads, they're getting all of these fun things that ultimately lead them to book and reserve time with you or to buy from you. And then you can focus on the fulfillment, which is what you're great at. A lot of times I see solo entrepreneurs that build a business around their passion, and then they're losing desire, or they're losing interest, or they're becoming burned out because they're focused, or they have no choice but to focus on the operations of the business, which ultimately is taking away from their passions and leaving them drained in a field where they really do need that energy and that capacity to show up for their clients. Now, if that's you, if you've resonated at all with this, if you're understanding what I'm saying, here's what I recommend for you to do. If you're thinking about getting into business and you know that you need a certain capacity energetically to show up with empathy, with presence to your sessions or for your clients in whichever way you're selling to them, then I recommend this type of framework for you. And what that's going to look like is you're going to develop a content strategy. I hate using that term, I know, but I have a media company and it's so important. Something like this, right? Like even what I'm doing right here, I have a very simple setup. It's literally just the camera recorder, a microphone, and then me, right? My knowledge. I'm in a little office space. You can do this from home or from your own studio, and just show up and decide on what you want to talk about with your customers or with your clients, with people that maybe have never met you or people that you intend to connect with, and let this, what I'm doing right now, be the voice for your business. Do this for your business so you can talk about different pain points. You can maybe give them free educational opportunities to learn from you. You can lead them through guided sessions so they can experience what it might be like working with you. There's a lot that goes into being able to develop a playlist, maybe where somebody can determine which playlist they want to dig into and really get to know you that way. If you notice on my channel here, I have a few different playlists so that whoever's coming to this channel can really finely navigate and decide what they're interested in with my topics. And then I also have a connection chat playlist, which is just me talking about my regular life. I do find that that is very valuable and important for potential customers coming to see you or maybe work with you, because then they really get to know the who behind the business. And it's a very easy way to just show up online and authentically be yourself. So I recommend getting content, and then you're going to have a platform where you are capturing or nurturing them through the process. That might look like, giving you their email address for some type of content, or maybe signing up for a free class that you have or a free download that you have. And then ultimately kind of nurturing them and keeping them through that with different emails or a newsletter of sorts until they are ready to buy from you. The reality is, when we're talking about marketing and sustainable business, most customers are not ready to buy right here and right now. It's just not financially or physically possible for them to buy everything that they want. But what you do want is to be top of mind when they are ready, so that if they're saying to themselves, I'm ready for this type of service or product, you are the company, you are the brand that they think of. I have a few in my mind that I, have waited on for weeks or months, and then I'm finally ready to do a session, and therefore I do it. So there is a lot to be said about just continuously building those relationships with your customers and being thankful that they're giving you their attention and not always their money. Right? So there's different ways we can build relationships with each other, especially in the online space. And you'll notice that that does a lot to kind of fill your cup so that when you are having sessions, or if you're fulfilling services, or if you're fulfilling product, you're not absolutely burned out. And again, this is very specific for like practitioners or those types of industries. So if this is not your video, stick around. I'm sure that I will cover video that is relevant to you in the near future. The next thing that I would encourage is for you to try to automate or create some type of experience for after your customer interacts with you or purchases from you. That could be something that looks like a little handwritten note. That could be, follow-up emails or a text message just to check in, just to see how everything went. And ultimately try to automate those processes to capture reviews or testimonials for your business, which are then going to be helpful on the top end when you're doing advertising and marketing. This is a very superficial video to just sustainable business because there's a lot that can be said about this topic, and those are going to be separate videos. But for this one, I just want you to start to think about how you might be able to restructure your process if you're just looking at the basic funnel, top, middle, bottom, how you can start to look at your business in a way and align yourself in a way that's going to be sustainable for you. If you love being the face of the business and explaining to people and getting them in, but you're getting a little bit maxed out on the fulfillment, then you might look at hiring or bringing in different practitioners to fill that space while you go and get the leads. That's something that I do for my businesses. I love meeting people. I do a lot of networking, and I just send them right to the company where my admin is able to help. And then I'm not the only one fulfilling services. I'm not the only one doing video editing, which is really fantastic. So it does free up a lot of my time, and it keeps me excited. It keeps me going because I'm not completely burned out trying to be everything all at once for the business. Now, what this looks like from a very practical standpoint is doing something just like I'm doing right here, creating some type of content that's going to help your customers feel more comfortable, relate to them, help them better understand, and then send them somewhere to connect with you directly. That could be your website. That could be deeper in your social media, maybe like a link in bio or a link tree so they can kind of go where they want to go. And ultimately, you want to position your funneling or your activity to capture some type of content or contact information from your customers. So that could be an email, that could be a phone number if you want to do SMS communities, that could be a membership circle, but just making sure that you're offering a little bit of a variety so that they can pick and choose where they're at in the purchasing cycle, in the buyer's journey, because they may not be ready to buy just yet. And that is completely normal. Don't fret, position yourself as a person of authority in your space, educational content. That's really, really, really hot for 2025 right now. And then make sure that you're not burning yourself out on the other side of that. If you have a newsletter, maybe work with somebody to help you execute that and put it together, but ultimately have your tone and your knowledge at the forefront of that, and just send one email a month, right? Here's my new blog articles. Here's my new content. Here's how you can find me and book with me. It really can be very low touch. You can get most of this done in probably about two business work days, or maybe 3 if you get really comfortable with it. It doesn't have to be extensive. And then that really leaves you to just focus on the present, focus on your sessions or your product fulfillment. And of course, the last thing I want to highlight is my vision board books. This is a great way if you're just starting to nail down your milestones or plan your goals. If you're into manifesting and doing the vision board stuff, this is a book that travels with you. It's a hardcover, so it does not get damaged. It fits perfectly inside of a laptop bag or a book bag or a suitcase. And you can interact with it all year long to just make sure that you're staying on track with your goals. You can see there's nice clean space here to cut and paste photos and quotes and all of the fun things that we do with vision boards. But then you also have different monthly check-ins where you can see what's pivoting, what's shifting, what you're looking forward to. A problem that I had with vision boards in the past is by the time I would get to the end of the year, I could not remember for the life of me what that quote meant or what that goal actually was, because there's only so much you can do on a poster board, right? It's just imagery and quotes and maybe a little bit of writing. This is a little different. It's not quite a journal, but you are able to write a good amount to just really refresh your mind each month and stay on track. There's milestones, things that you're celebrating, goals that you have, some psychology in here, which is amazing. So you can really take charge of your growth throughout the year in your business. I highly recommend these. The link is on my account. They're at Barnes & Noble. Some of them are on Amazon. I have about 15 different styles. This is the minimalist version. It's very minimal. It's very cute. If you look closely, you can actually, not at my stain there, but you can actually color it if you want. It's got a really nice matte finish on it. And this is the scrapbook version, so it's a little more artsy. You can really get creative with these. It's a little more fun depending on your personality, and then again, all of the fun things in the front. So highly encourage those if you do like making vision boards. These are a great way to just stay on track and keep yourself in alignment with what you're actually doing, because it's easy. It's very easy as a solopreneur to get squirrel-brained. I've done it myself in the past, and just really thankful for my team that keeps me in check. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.